Hi, welcome. It's me. I'm here, but I left my drink in the other room. Anyway, Elaine Marolakos Edelson, welcome to your today. We are doing an oracle reading, the last one of 2022. And let's see, come and join me, say hello. And we're going to talk about the Mercury in retrograde as well. Let me see, January 18th. Let's reset. Okay, so here we are. Yay, we made it. Hooray. We are going to choose from 3 different decks today. This being the last oracle reading of 2022. Welcome, bienvenue, come on in. Madeline Kahn, we love you. Okay, so come say hello to me. Hey, it's Vicky. Vicky. We are, we're doing a lot, aren't we? It's that time between Christmas holiday and New Year holiday. And this is when people start to come off their sugar high and their carb loads. Hey, Ricotta, happy holiday. And we are also looking at why, right? Why is this still happening? Why isn't this happening? What happens when we have to pivot? Because something unexpected happens. Hey, Dino, can you hear me? Can you find my coffee mug and bring it in? I heated up my Columbia coffee mug. Columbia River. Anyway, thank you, honey. My husband, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're going to look at 3 different things today. Now, that is whatever issue you want to talk about, you want to think about. Thank you, my love. I love you so very much. He made slurping sounds. He's a funny man. Okay, so whatever you want to think about, what's not working, what's not happening, what is happening and how to handle it, or how to negotiate a particular feeling, you can look at. We have 3 decks. We're going to be doing Astrology Heavenly Bodies by Lily Ashwell. Papa Lily. Here's some of the artwork. Very pretty. And you can be thinking of your sun, rising, and moon. You can sparse it out into 1 deck equals the first 10 days of January. Then the second deck, the next 10 days, break it up into thirds. And then we're also going to be doing Rebecca Campbell and artwork by Danielle Noel, the StarSeed Oracle. And this is what that looks like. Get a vibe on that. And then, all right, so sun, rising, moon, a particular issue, working with a particular person. You could pick 1 deck, 3 decks, 2 decks. It's all up to you. And then the 3rd deck we're going to be using is Oracle of the 7 Energies by Colette Baron-Reid. And that looks like this. Ta-da! Okay. So once you pick your deck, and happy holidays to you as well, Ricardo. Come say hello to me. We're going to be doing your oracle, the last oracle reading of 2022. And during this time between what becomes the universal collective new year, because honestly, I see your birthday as your new year. But when we go by the traditional calendar and we look at, 2023 numerologically equals you add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7-year. But for you, you would continue to add, that's a whole other show, right? But you would continue to add your birth day and birth month to get your personal year. So if a number, my hair's sticking to that. So if a number shows up in one of these decks, Lily Ashwell's deck does not have any numbers, and apparently neither does the other one. Only the 7 Energies has numbers. So if you're looking at numerology and you want to add that to your session, you can do that as well. So what I'd like you to do is just get clear on what the issue is or the issues are and how you would like to sparse this reading, so that whether it's sun, rising, and moon, whether it's a person, an issue, a thing, your past, present, future, first 10 days, second 10 days, last 10 days of January, however you want to look at it. Just get clear on what that is, because the clearer you are, the clearer the message will be for you. And then let's just quickly and briefly come say hello, say hi. We're going to talk about Mercury in retrograde. Let me just share that screen right now. So here we are today. Welcome to the Mercury in retrograde in Capricorn. We got a lot of Capricorn going on here. Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. Now Pluto will be entering Aquarius for a few months, but until such time, we are looking at the solid building energy of Capricorn. Now, are the planets doing anything to you? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. If you're new to me, here's what I say. The planets don't do anything to you. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. You make a move. It shows in aspects and angles in a chart. Why? Because you're a sentient, eternal, celestial being. You are pure conscious love. You are creating your reality. Whether you are aware of it or not, whether you like it or not, you are the one with the power, not the planets. They are not conscious of their movements. You might say, oh, they influence, just like the weather might influence your choice on what to wear that day. But ultimately, you're the one making the decision. So think about that. When I talk about Mercury in retrograde, Mercury is the planet that represents your perceptions, your beliefs, how you form thoughts, how you communicate, what you want to say, how you want to say it, and what you think is true. What is true for you? So when we look at Mercury in retrograde and what it's doing, it's making a lot of sextiles, which these are the blue lines you see here. Those are positive angles to Jupiter and the moon, but the moon is so transient, so we're not going to talk about that right now, but it's how you feel. It's your intuitive sense. It's that perception of, they're smiling, but something tells me there's something going on behind the scenes. They're not happy. Or the email says to call back before 3, but my gut is, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'll call tomorrow. Right. So you want to start trusting your inner sense, your inner guidance, your higher inner being, you're an extension of the light. You exist here, now, everywhere. That's been my mantra for 40 years. I'm an extension of the light. And as such, an extension of the light, this is your physical aspect, as if you're playing an RPG, right? You're the aspect. So you can make choices or ignore your higher inner being, ignore that inner voice. You can ignore it. And then, you'll hit another brick wall eventually. We all do. No judgment, no blame. And you do whatever you choose. But if you've got an issue that you'd like to overcome, let's get to these cards. And please, folks, remember to share, like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. I'm just getting started again on YouTube after many, many years. But we're going to start with showing you again what the choices are for cards. And that is the first choice, Heavenly Bodies by Lily Ashwell. And this is an idea of what the cards look like if you want to vibe on that. That's deck number 1. And then the second deck is Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Danielle Noel, the StarSeed Oracle. And that looks like this. Okay. And then the third choice is going to be Colette Baron-Reid's The Oracle of the 7 Energies. And that looks like this. All right. So choose your deck for whatever you're undergoing, for whatever you need. Remember, it could be sun, rising, and moon. It could be the first 10 days of January. Then the next deck is the second 10 days, or it's about a specific person or a specific issue, or body, mind, spirit, however you want to parse these out. So we're going to start with deck number 1. Let me make some room here. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is feeling great and that you're safe no matter what the weather, and that you can affect the weather You can. Your emotions can affect the weather. Think about that. So I'm going to go with deck number 1 to start. For those of you who have chosen this, we've got Heavenly Bodies by Lily Ashwell. And I'm just going to focus on deck number 1. If this is your choice, whoa. Okay, let's just see if that is a true pouring out, because a bunch, yeah, it is. All right. So apparently 2 cards. 2 cards, no waiting for deck number 1. If you chose deck number 1, this is what we're looking at. And that is House 1. House 1, individuality, self-image, and approach to life. House 1 in astrology would be the house that's just south of the rising sign, guided by the rising sign. And house 1 also represents not just your personality and your individuality, but childhood traumas. So if you've chosen this deck, house 1 is showing up, which means if we combine it with the second card that came out, which is Earth, patience, I want to say persistence, patience, and practicality is what she has written. And that's the symbol up at the top for Earth, and Earth signs being Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now, when we talk about that in conjunction with house 1, it's about becoming very less attached and more grounded in what you feel is valuable to you. And that is after research, that is after physical experience that you now know is no longer valid. All right. I don't know what that means to some of you, but let me say that again. That house 1 is the first card that came out of the first deck. If you've chosen the first deck, we're looking at you being much more grounded in the fact that the past is over, especially those childhood traumas, but that how you want to look right now, it is not going to be based on unconscious limitations or suffering, but yet on a new vision, the new you, the higher you, the happier you, the more grounded you, the more see yourself as the elder instead of the student. I mean, we're always students, right? But in choosing the first deck and these cards, what I'm looking at is a very similar image. I just saw this. It is a heart. There's a heart in both of these. Look at this. I just saw that. Okay, we have a heart here, which is the root. It is the grounding of it all comes from the heart. The heart is what magnetizes. All right. And then here, look at that heart with wings. The heart with wings, grounded. Whoopsie. I love that. So if you could take whatever is happening in your world, whatever perceptions, remember Mercury is retrograde now in Capricorn, whatever perceptions you have had of yourself of the past, I want you to think about how that can transform right now in very rooted ways where it's like planting seed. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you might say, well, I can't plant any seeds right now, but you can really. You can start to think about what happens to the seed under the ground. It has to be nurtured there first. And opening your heart to that idea of future growth. Planting seeds now, your perception, Mercury, in Capricorn, solidifying a foundation of what's to come. And in manifesting terms, it is seeing, yes, and feeling it before it happens. Seeing it and feeling it before it happens. Okay. I don't know what this is, but I'm letting that go. I hope that is helping if you chose deck number 1, because to manifest something, a lot of times we just look at most times we just look at what it is now. It's like, oh, it didn't happen. It's not happening. It's not happening. So we put a vibe out that says it's not happening. So we get more of that. That's the law of attraction in action. But if you can open your heart to feel what it feels like for that future event and feel it now, feel the future now, you literally start to bring it to you that much quicker. So if you chose deck number 1, get grounded in the fact that it starts in your heart. The brain sends out the signal in its EMF waves, but the heart is what magnetizes. So be grounded, be practical, but yet be open. Okay. Hey, Rhonda's here. Morning. Okay. That was deck number 1. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments whether we're live or in a replay. These things help me. Now, deck number 2. Hey, Lanier, Happy New Year. Okay, deck number 2. If you've chosen deck number 2, now if you're just joining us and you've missed the first one, you might want to watch the replay. But we have 3 decks, and this is deck number 2, the StarSeed Oracle. So I'm going to mix up the cards for this one. And this is the last Oracle reading of 2022. Can you believe that? I remember when I was 10 years old and I thought, the year 2000, I'll be 40. I'm going to be so old. Right? I'm 62 now. What the heck? Okay, here we go. Deck number 2. If you chose deck number 2 for your sun, your rising, your moon, for the first 10 days, second 10 days, the third quarter of January, for an issue, for your body, mind, spirit, for specific issues, you just focus on that issue and the answer that's coming. Okay. And again, we have 2 cards. 2 cards, Sally. So the first card that came out, oh, what a beautiful card. I've never. Okay. Not only, it's 2 cards, but they're like stuck like glue together. And it doesn't matter if it's reversed. We have Star Brothers and Breath of the Cosmos. Okay. Star Brothers. That's a beautiful card. Look at that. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. Now, here's the thing about Horus. If you were to take a cross section of the head and open it and look, the eye of Horus is literally the center of the human brain. And the symbolism in Egyptian and Muslim iconography, artwork, you will see the body represented as part of the hierarchy of spirituality and awareness. So again, the cross section of the brain, you open it up and you see the eye of Horus is literally the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is the eye of the needle. It is the seat of your awareness, the way you bring in your higher information and then apply it and bring it down and make it real. You know, you've come to this earth to make things real, to see what it's like to have 3D, 4D, 5D, to manifest, to create, to make choices and see the ramifications. And so I love this card. So if you chose this deck, it feels like you're about to embark on a whole new venture of opening and of awareness. So you've got the pineal gland, the eye of Horus, and protection and safety and trust growing and developing within you. And coupled with that, hi, Lorraine, is the breath of the cosmos. And the breath of it says, my will to will thy will. My will to thy will. I used to say a long time ago, I will to will thy will. And I was talking to my higher inner being. the breath of the cosmos. And the card says micromanaging the universe. So first is opening up the energy centers, especially the ones in your brain. And how do you do that? You meditate. Deck number 2, you meditate. You meditate not on an issue, a problem, or you meditate on being completely still and present. And then finding your way up the energy centers from the base all the way up through 16 inches above your head, where the opening is, and especially lighting up the pineal gland. You know, it's photosensitive too. So it becomes lit up when you focus on the pineal gland at the center of your brain, you know, come in through the back door or come in through the front door, focusing in a meditation on opening the pineal gland, which looks like a little pine cone, Fibonacci. Okay. Everything, all the symbolism is right here. So and let me see this card, and the falcons are very important because they bring messages of heaven, or the idea of heaven. It's of the awareness of your divinity. So when you start to meditate and you open up, what happens then is you're able to harness, I mean, this card says micromanage, but I love harness the will of the higher inner self and being. Now, if you notice that the shadow and part of this, in this illustration, we have a sea turtle, we have a lion, or I'm sorry, a lion or a tiger, a female lion or a tiger, and a raven. If you can see in the shapes. So making matter because you are divine matter, and you matter because your matter is divine. So what's the matter? Deck number 2, you're the matter. So as soon as you start to meditate more and open up that pineal gland and move that energy, you will connect to the higher, and you'll be able to harness that energy in order to manifest here, right now. So, you know, we get excited a lot of times when we start to open spiritually or energetically, and it's like, oh, what just happened? I saw a thing and it happened, you know, and the phone rang and I knew who it was, or, you know, I had this dream and am I being chased by some demon? Okay, no. So whatever's in your subconscious, whatever is down there, that starts to come out, whatever you believe. Remember, Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn. If you believe in victim, persecutor, perpetrator, victim, if you believe in persecution, persecutor, then that part of you is going to create a perception. And that perception is that there is harm, when you open up spiritually. The protection is I am. That's the protection. The protection is I am an extension of the light. You're already protected. So this Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust, is your card, your indication that you have to let go of the old ideas of I better light 16 candles and, you know, pray to the right crystal and do the jig around the cairns. Whatever you got to do, right? But then you get to a place of saying it's just a stream of light between me, the universe, and what I'm creating. There is no entity that's going to cause me harm. So that's your awareness. Now, that's the loftier version of it. And I would say bringing it down to earth during this Mercury in retrograde is to meditate more and feel present. You might connect with your higher inner being. You might connect with StarSeed, angels, whatever your symbolic representation is of support. Passed on loved ones are there. You know, vibration is everything. You may hear a certain song and say, oh, I feel. I have little bells wherever I go, right? So, you know, teacher says every time a bell rings. So it's not ringing that clearly right now, but I have little bells all around the house. So when I hear a tone, it just straightens me right up. And it's like, and that thought of judgment or not enough. So deck number 2, I would say the Star Brothers and Sisters. And there they are, your sisters. The breath of the cosmos. Because as you breathe here, you bring it down, you make it real. And you can do that. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. All right, now if you chose deck number 3, Lanier, happy birthday. Everybody, happy birthday to this amazing Capricorn. I believe I came in on this live right on time. Yes, you did. You are always on time. Remember that. Hi, Lorraine. Happy New Year. All right, so now the third deck is the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron-Reid. Now, if you've chosen this one, or for a specific, you've chosen this for a specific reason, let's just focus on what that is. Oh, I'm hearing a lot of sound and music. Om Tat Savitu Varenam Bargo Devasya Dima Dio Yona Prachodaya. That is the Gayatri mantra. I had a little translator on my desk, but so is everything else on my desk. So I would describe that for you. Thank you for being here. Whoops. All right, deck number 3. Something is hiding. Something is hiding. All right, let's see what we got. All right. We have a higher view. Deck number 3, we have a higher view, number 41 if you're doing any kind of numerology. And a 4 is hard work, but you break it down to a 22, which equals delegation and problem solving. And then there's a 1, that's independence. You put them together, that's a 5, that is moving back, like in a rocking chair, to see the past and know that it's time to transform, to move forward. So if you chose deck number 3, let's start looking at the higher picture from a bird's eye point of view. So this gorgeous creature, is that focused? It looks fuzzy to me. But anyway, you see the vibration down below. She has a very peaceful expression and the star on her forehead. So the higher view is taking a step back or a step up from what you've experienced and start to think about the solutions that came instead of focusing on the problem. The solutions come when you let go of focusing on the problem. You must know what the problem is. You're wanting to do it on your own. You want it to be a little bit more independent. Deck number 3. And, you know, you have to step back every once in a while and say, okay, why do I keep attracting the same kind of person? Friend, lover, you know, coworker, whatever. Why do I keep attracting the same thing? And once you start to realize the vibration, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are 4 ripples of energy at the bottom. If you can see that, 4 ripples of energy, 1, 2, 3, 4, that emanate from a central place. And that kind of expression in this card is telling me that it's like if you run your hand across a pool of water and you see ripples, where does the energy from your hand and the ripples begin? It will carry that vibration. your energy is carried on the wind. Your energy is carried through your intentions, your thoughts, your deeds, your actions. And so by stepping back and saying, if there is a thing that keeps occurring, I have to see myself as the magnet. And then from there, this is the second card, I will be shining through. And shining through with the number 3. 3 is about perception. 3 is about communication. 3, jiving with the Mercury in retrograde in Capricorn. 3 is, okay, I'm solid. I know what I've been doing. Oh my gosh, I get it now. And if you were to, just as an example, take a piece of paper, deck number 3, and just write down, let's just say it's the same thing you've been attracting over and over, but they come through people or situations or experiences. And you say, you write this person's name down, or this job, or that job, or that job. And you cross out the names, but you start to assess the energies of it. Oh my gosh, you're going to see a correlation, that it's not about the person you're attracting. It's not about the type of job or the issue that you're attracting, but you are magnetizing a vibration that's on, it's like a record stuck. Remember those? Anybody remember records? That is stuck in a loop. And so whatever you're outputting from the higher point of view, you start to look down and say, oh my gosh, I get it. I get it. So now what do you do about it once you get it? What do you do about it? Well, I think the thing is that in order to shine through, you just need to know what you don't want. I don't want to be that way anymore. I don't want to feel that reaction anymore. I don't want to speak that way anymore. I'm going to step back and see exactly how I can shine through my perception. So during this Mercury in retrograde, we started the Mercury in retrograde in mid-December, the pre-shadow phase. And so now we're in it, December 29th through January 18th, and then add another 10 days, 2 weeks, just to have that vibe in you reset, right? But it's that feeling of, if I think it, who said this? Anybody know? Because it's been said in every language by every prophet, by every spiritualist, even the ones that were removed from the Bible. Ruth said it. She was taken out of the Bible because she said it, and because she was a woman. But as a man thinketh. Buddha, Jesus, you pick your deity, your avatar. They've all said it. Muhammad. So I just want to see what Colette has for the tail end of the 41. Be mindful. Be mindful. Okay, the way to be successful in your endeavor to connect with others is to step out of your sticky perception of the world. Exactly. Sticky. I like that, because that's what creates attachments. So what would change if you could stand back from your life right now and see that you have created thought forms that are creating vibrations that result in attracting matter? You've created that. Well, would you rather just shine from the inside out and be perceived as whatever, as long as you know how you're perceiving yourself? Let me say that again. A lot of times we make choices based on what we think other people need, deck number 3. Oh, I should do that because I told them I would, or they're not asking, but I know they need it, so I might as well just get it done. And then you create this pattern that at this point you need to rethink, so that your actions are not about how you are viewed from the outside world, Like, oh, if I give at Christmas, I'm a good Christian, or I donate to the food bank, in the middle of April, when nobody else does. Are you looking for recognition? So and there's no right or wrong. It's just that the perception that you have of your role on this world, in this world, and how you go about it, you need to come at it from a bird's eye point of view, and carry the stars with you, and carry the light of divinity with you, the light of pure conscious love. That's what you are. So it doesn't matter what they say or do or think. What matters is what you are shining out and what's reflected back to you. Does that make sense? Just let me know. I hope that is helpful to you. Do you guys like it, guys, gals, and those of non-specific gender? Do you like it when I do the oracle readings? Because I can continue that in 2023. Is that something that you would like to have me do? Anybody? Oh, and it's also, let me see, who else is having a birthday? Vicky is having a birthday on January 9th. Perfecto. Capricorn rising, me. Yes, love the reading, says Vicky. Yes, makes perfect sense. Bingo. B-I-N-G-O. Rhonda says yes. Okay. So was that helpful? And I'm just curious to know if anybody, how you set up your oracle. Did you pick a deck based on your sun, rising, and moon? Did you pick a deck? Instead of saying yes, tell me what it was. Did you pick a deck based on, because by the time I say it and you get 10 seconds has passed, so sometimes I don't know what you're saying yes to. But if you picked a deck for a specific reason, please let me know in the chat so that I could cater more of the readings toward your needs. Once a month, the last Thursday of every month, we will be doing an oracle for the following month. So what is it? Did you perhaps do it for the 3 parts of, first 10 days, second 10 days, third 10 days of January? Was it for your sun, rising, and moon? Was it for specific issues? Did you pick all 3 decks? Did they all vibe with you? Would you like to see different decks? Would you like me to add runes, not the cards, but the actual tiles? That kind of thing. So I just am taking a little bit of a survey here so that I can help you out. I can hear the fairies calling my name right now. So one deck per 10 days of January. Okay, thank you. Did that help you? Pile number 3, okay, great. So thank you for that. And depends on the day, but today was issue centric. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. The fairies want to chime in here. So as you're answering, I'm going to also pull a fairy card for the collective. A lot of help. Good, 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 good. All right. This is for the collective for Mercury in retrograde. No. Perceptions. Yes. Regardless of Mercury or retrograde. Perceptions. And the kind of support too. My voice just cracked like a 14-year-old boy. I guess I'm excited. Okay. Hang on. What are we talking about here? My little friends. Perception and support. These are the words that are coming. So these cards will be based on perception, and your support. Okay, thank you. Well, you can always go back if you're just joining me or you join me later on during my whole thing here. You can go back to the replay and choose a deck. There are 3 decks. And then the fairies want to end up here with perception, your perception, and your support. So I'm assuming that's 2 cards. I don't know. Let's not assume. Let's not. All right, your perception. Wow. What we got here? The Sage. The only issue I have with this deck is that it is so hard to read the type. Right? That one says Unity, but some of them you're just like this, like, huh? What? Dean, get me my magnifying glass. Okay, so here we go. Perception. The Sage, 19. That is such an amazing drawing. Oh, and of course, if you're not familiar with the Faeries Oracle, Brian Froud, I've loved him since I was in high school. Brian Froud. I was like, these are my people. I know these people. Jessica MacBeth wrote the text and the definitions, working with the fairies to find insight, wisdom, and joy. And Brian Froud is the artist. Amazing. Because you keep looking at the card and you go, there's more faces in there than, I look at plaster on the wall and I see faces or images. Okay, so the Sage. Now, I love that he has one cloudy eye and one clear eye. And he's got the wisdom of summer, spring, autumn, and winter. And that it's number 19 in numerology. 19 equals a 10, a 1, but 19 is also poverty consciousness. So it's overcoming something to the extreme in order to come back to center. So I want to go right to the deck. Oopsie. I want to go right to the deck and the definitions here for number 19. This is for your perception. Regarding your perception. Okay. Love it. Whoopsie. Now I don't want to drop this. There we go. All right. Here we see wisdom and deep inner understanding. One of the keys of wisdom is to organize, integrate, and simplify one's thoughts. Complexity often leads to confusion. Simplicity is to be valued. Simplicity is to be valued. Okay? The Sage knows when to let go and when to move on. He knows when to retreat and think things over. She compassionately and wisely shares knowledge with others, teaching by example as well as by precept. The scales of justice are balanced in the Sage's hands. I don't even see the Sage's hands in this image, but this card in a reading also signifies the need for deep consideration and refined judgment applied with compassion and mercy. That's about your perceptions. That's pretty darn powerful. Thank you. I needed that. Okay, and then it was perception and support. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Actually 2 came out on that one for support. This one was the first. And that is, okay, I can't even pronounce her name because I can't read it. Lascuna. Tells us to pay attention to our dreams, to listen to the murmur of the waters, to note the patterns in the damp, fallen leaves. I just want to get rid of this for a second. So this is about support. So gaining support from your dreams and from the nature patterns. She also suggests soothing baths, hot tub jacuzzis, trips to the nearest spa or hot springs, and dips in the handiest sea, pond, or mountain lake. Mud baths also help us quiet down and become strong enough to explore territory, which is the earth and the waters, from the depths to the heights. So let's get grounded, folks, and remember water and earth energies are going to be some of your greatest support right now. So that can be simple. Taking a bath, a shower, yes, listening to a fountain, a mud bath, or playing in the mud, hiking, walking. And then this was the other, Penelope Dreamweaver, another dream card. Okay. And she's number, oh, and numerologically speaking, there is a 3 and a 9 here. So 3, perceptions, 9, humanitarianism and endings. So 3 and a 9 equals a 3, perceptions. And then a 28 is a 1. That's the next card, 28. Do, 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 do. And this is beautiful. I love her dress. I mean, if I had the nerve and the body, I would wear a dress like this. Penelope Dreamweaver. Seek visions and inspiration. Be aware that they are often subtle and require close attention. Fantasies, dreams, and daydreams are all places an inspirational fairy can contact us. But she can also pop up unannounced in the midst of the most ordinary of activities. In the bath, washing the dishes, driving the car, anywhere else, our mind is half occupied or running on idle. Unsought inspiration. To catch them and bring them into reality. So this is about inspiration, being your support, dreams, right? And also utilizing earth energy and water energy. So whether that's drinking more water, whether that's turning on your little water fountain in the living room, I think that being grounded and being fluid, you know, water over stone over time can reshape. And be very supportive. Just the sound of trickling instead of a gush or, you know, I love the sound of rain. To me, it's almost the same as typing or a fireplace crackling. It's got that same soothing sensation for me. So I hope this was helpful. These readings are incredibly helpful, says Lorraine. Thank you. This last card is looking at what I was really saying. Oh, be aware of what you're putting out there. Yeah, absolutely. Very helpful. Good, good. I'm so happy. All right, great. So I will be back on the, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I didn't set up my calendar for next year. So I guess we're looking at, is it the 5th? It is. January 5th, I'll be back in a new year with a new vibe and a new sweater. No, I only have 3 sweaters, actually. It'll be the same sweater that I'll recycle. Okay, folks, thank you for being here. Remember to share, like, subscribe on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm to promote it, get it out there so that other people can benefit. As always, I wish you peace. Stay present. I'll see you next time. Happy New Year.